Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Reflection Friday, and we're going to talk about behavior modifications. So I noticed over the past few weeks that Monday and Friday have kind of correlated with each other. So this week is actually intentional. Before it really wasn't intentional, but I noticed that, Monday and Friday tend to go hand in hand together. But Monday I did speak on how to meditate to help to change some behaviors that you don't like and don't want in your life. And so I really wanted to expand on that and go in a little further. So I mentioned triggers, and if you didn't see it on Monday, I'm going to go over this again. So triggers are those things that happen that trigger our emotional outburst or whatever behavior it is that you're trying to modify. So let's say yelling at your kids, for example. Your kids do something, and next thing you know, you're yelling at them, your blood pressure is high, you're stressed out, they're crying, somebody's screaming, it's all this chaos going on, and it's all because you started yelling at your kids. And so maybe you feel bad about it afterwards, like I yell at them too much, I'm always fussing at them. You want to change that. So that's a trigger. That would be what I'm talking about as far as what triggers that emotional or that behavior that you no longer want. So the first step is that you really have to identify what are those things or those areas in your life that you want to change. That's the first step. What do you want to change? So in the example that I gave, it may be yelling at your children. You don't want to yell at them anymore. You would rather just tell them or talk to them or something like that. So that would be what it is that would be the behavior you're trying to change. The trigger. What is the trigger? The trigger could be them fighting with each other, or maybe they stole something from each other. He took my toy, he took my candy, he took my cup. That could be the issue, and maybe that's a trigger for you. Maybe the trigger is you're stressed. Maybe the trigger is you're tired because you worked all day and then have to come home and deal with these kids and they acting up and they fighting and screaming and all of this is going on. You're tripping over the dog, like it's too much happening. So maybe that's really what your trigger is that it's too much compiled up to where you explode. So find out what it is first, the behavior that you're trying to get rid of, and what triggers it. And really spend some time figuring out what triggers it, okay? Because it may be more than one thing that does it. Like I said, it could be a combination of the stress that you get on your job and then coming home and the stress from the kids and you're tired and you don't feel like doing it. I know me when I'm tired. Oh, baby. Baby, my patience is gone. I don't have no patience, no tolerance. My filter leaves. Like all this stuff happens just because I'm tired. Okay. So you have to recognize what those situations, what those triggers are that actually happen. And then when you notice it happening or you find yourself in that moment, you have to stop and pause. Now that's the hard part. Because you're in it, you're in that moment, you're going at it, and you're yelling like, ah. So you have to take that moment to just say, okay, wait, let me pause. Let me think about this. Because this is not how I want to act. I don't want to be yelling at you guys. You know what? And sometimes you may have to just step away for a minute. You know what? And then just step away. Just step away. And then take that moment to realize what it is, get yourself together, get your head right, and then you can go back. So use an example with the kids. The kids are yelling, you can tell them, stop it, sit it down, give me a minute, because when they see mama stressed out and you do one of these, they like, oh crap, what's about to happen? She about to explode. Something about to happen. One of us about to die. So you can take that moment and be like, listen, I've had a stressful day. I'm tired. And I'm not in the mood for hearing you guys sit back and fight and yell at one another. What is the problem? We're going to use our mouths and we're going to communicate. What is the problem? And that could be what it is that you do to try to change that behavior, change that scenario. So you just have to get, first of all, like I said, identify what the behavior is, figure out what your triggers are, and then ask yourself, like, why is this a trigger? What is really the true problem? What's really going on here that's making me feel this way or making me lash out? Or making me do these behaviors that I don't want to do. Like, what is that trigger? It could be something that you eat. Like me, I'm a stress eater. Okay? The moment I'm stressed or I feel like I'm under pressure, I'm looking for something, anything. Like, just can I get some chips? Can I get some chips? No chips, can I get some popcorn? I need something. So that's a trigger. And I know if I feel overwhelmed or I feel really stressed or I'm tired or, things like that, I know those are triggers for me to not eat like I need to be eating or like I want to be eating. So I'm a deviate. And so that's how I identify it. And that's when I just like, okay, what's the real reason for this? Let me just drink some water and go to bed because it's late. I don't need to be doing this anyway. So let me just stop. Or let me walk away, take the dog for a walk. Let me find something else to do to try to pull myself away from this undesired behavior that I'm doing. So that's my message for today. It is Friday. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you tomorrow.